The widowed businessman had long ago stopped noticing the small details of life. His days were structured with precision, each hour accounted for, each action calculated. Ever since his wife passed away, silence had become his constant companion. The once warm and lively house now echoed with emptiness, it was holding memories he rarely allowed himself to revisit. He buried himself in work, believing that success and routine could fill the void she had left behind. But deep down, there was always a quiet ache he refused to confront. Every morning followed the same pattern. He would wake up early, dress in perfectly pressed suits, and walk into the dining area where breakfast was already prepared. The table was always set neatly, the food warm and ready, yet he ate without tasting anything. The only other presence in the house during those early hours was the maid, a young woman who moved silently, carefully, as if trying not to disturb the heavy atmosphere that lingered in every corner. She had been working there for several months, yet he knew almost nothing about her. To him, she was simply part of the system that kept his life running smoothly. However, recently, something about her began to stand out. Perhaps it was the way she moved more slowly than before, or how she would occasionally pause, pressing her hand gently against her swollen belly. Her pregnancy was impossible to ignore, yet she never complained or asked for special treatment. Despite her condition, she continued to work diligently, completing every task with quiet determination. There was a kind of strength in her that he couldn't quite understand. One particular morning, as he sat at the table scrolling through messages on his phone, he noticed her hesitation. She stood near the doorway for a brief moment, as if gathering courage, before walking toward him. "Sir," she said softly, her voice almost trembling, "I may need to leave a little earlier today after finishing my work." He barely looked up, simply nodding in acknowledgement. But something about her tone lingered in his mind. It wasn't just a request, it felt like there was something more behind it, something she wasn't saying. After she left the room, he found himself distracted. He tried to focus on his schedule for the day, but his thoughts kept returning to her. Why would she need to leave early? And why did it seem like she was hiding something? He shook his head, annoyed at himself for caring about something so trivial. Yet the curiosity refused to fade. As the morning progressed, he prepared to leave for work as usual. He grabbed his car keys and walked toward the door, but then he paused. Through the window, he saw the maid stepping out of the house. She adjusted her scarf, glanced around briefly, and began walking down the street instead of waiting for public transport. There was something unusual about the way she moved, careful, almost secretive. For a moment, he stood there, debating with himself. Following her would be irrational, even inappropriate. He was a man of logic, not suspicion. Yet there was an unexplainable pull, a quiet voice urging him to find out where she was going. Perhaps it was boredom, or perhaps it was something deeper, a need to break free from the monotony that had defined his life for so long. Without fully thinking it through, he made a decision. He stepped outside, locked the door behind him, and walked toward his car. Instead of heading toward his office, he kept his distance and slowly followed her from afar. He told himself it was just for a few minutes, just to satisfy his curiosity. But deep down, he knew this simple decision was about to change something within him, something he had kept buried for far too long. He kept a careful distance as he followed her, making sure not to draw attention. The city was already alive with noise, vendors calling out, motorcycles weaving through traffic, rushing to start their day, but she moved through it all with quiet focus. Her steps were slow but steady, one hand often resting protectively on her belly. Every now and then, she would pause briefly, as if catching her breath, then continue walking. The businessman watched from afar, a strange mix of curiosity and concern growing inside him. He had expected her to take a short route to a nearby place, perhaps a clinic or a relative's house. But she kept going. Minutes turned into nearly an hour. The streets began to change. The clean, organized avenues near his neighborhood faded into narrower roads, lined with small shops and worn-out buildings. The polished image of the city gave way to something more raw, more real. He had rarely visited such areas, and as he drove slowly behind her, he felt out of place. Yet she seemed familiar with every turn, every shortcut, as if she had walked this path many times before. Eventually, she stopped in front of a small, old house tucked between two crumbling walls. The paint was peeling, the gate slightly broken, and the windows looked fragile. It was the kind of place most people would pass without a second glance. She looked around cautiously, then slipped inside. The businessman parked his car at a distance, his heart beating a little faster now. This was not what he had expected at all. He waited for a moment, debating whether to leave. This had already gone too far. Following her like this felt wrong, like he was crossing a line he couldn't uncross. But then he remembered her nervous voice that morning, the hesitation in her eyes. There was clearly something she was hiding. And now, standing here, he felt closer than ever to understanding it. Slowly, he stepped out of the car and approached the house on foot. Each step felt heavier than the last. When he reached the side of the building, he noticed that one of the windows was slightly open. He hesitated again, then leaned forward just enough to look inside. What he saw caught him completely off guard. Inside the small room were several children, 5, maybe 6 of them, sitting on the floor. Their clothes were simple, sun-worn, but their faces lit up the moment they saw her. They ran toward her with excitement, calling out to her as if she were someone incredibly important to them. She smiled in a way he had never seen before, not the polite, reserved smile she showed at his house, but something genuine, full of warmth and love. She carefully sat down among them, placing a bag beside her. One by one, she began taking out food, simple meals, neatly packed. The children gathered around eagerly, but she made sure to serve them fairly, gently reminding them to wait their turn. Her movements were slow due to her condition, yet filled with patience. She spoke softly to them, asking about their day, brushing a child's hair aside, wiping another's face. It was as if she belonged there. The businessman felt a knot form in his chest. This wasn't what he had imagined. He had thought perhaps she was hiding a secret that would cause trouble, something irresponsible or dishonest. But what he was witnessing was something entirely different. He looked around more carefully now. The house itself was nearly empty, no proper furniture, no signs of wealth or stability. Just a thin mat on the floor, a few utensils in the corner, and walls that had seen better days. It became clear that this was not just a casual visit. This place meant something to her. Questions flooded his mind. Who were these children? Why was she here? And most importantly, how could someone in her situation, already struggling and pregnant, take on such a responsibility? He remained frozen by the window, unable to look away. For the first time in a long while, he felt something unfamiliar stir within him. It wasn't just curiosity anymore, it was something deeper, something that was beginning to challenge everything he thought he understood about people, about life, and perhaps even about himself. He could no longer remain outside. The sight in front of him had unsettled something deep within his chest, something he had kept buried since the day he lost his wife. Without fully realizing it, he stepped toward the door and knocked gently. The sound echoed in the small, quiet space inside. Instantly, the children fell silent. The maid turned her head toward the door, her expression shifting from worry to shock in a matter of seconds. When she opened the door and saw him standing there, her face lost all color. Her hands trembled slightly, instinctively moving to cover her belly as if protecting both herself and her unborn child. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The distance between employer and employees suddenly felt much heavier than before, filled with unspoken questions and fear. "Sir," she whispered, her voice barely audible. He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he looked past her into the room, his eyes scanning the children who now huddled together, watching him with uncertainty. Slowly, he stepped inside. His polished shoes felt out of place against the rough floor. The air was different here, thicker, warmer, filled with a kind of life he hadn't felt in years. I can explain," she said quickly, her voice shaking. "Please don't misunderstand. I always finish my work. I never neglect my duties. I just come here after, I mean, only when I can." Her words stumbled over each other, driven by fear. It was clear what she expected, that he would be angry, that he would see this as betrayal or irresponsibility. He finally looked at her, really looked at her, perhaps for the first time. This was not just the quiet maid who moved silently through his empty house. This was a woman carrying a child, standing in a fragile place, yet still choosing to care for others. He opened his mouth to speak, but no words came out. She lowered her gaze, her hands clasped together tightly. "If you want, you can cut my salary, or I can stop coming here," she continued, her voice breaking. I couldn't live then. I grew up here, sir. After my parents passed away, this place, these children, they were all we had. She gestured softly toward the room behind her. "They are like my family." The businessman felt something twist painfully inside him. He turned his attention to the children again. They stood quietly now, unsure whether to approach or stay back. One of the youngest clung to the edge of her dress, peeking out nervously. The simplicity of the scene, the innocence, the quiet bond between them, it struck him harder than anything else. "You bring them food?" he finally asked, his voice low, almost unrecognizable even to himself. She nodded slowly. "From my salary. Not much, but enough for them to eat something." She hesitated before adding, "I know it's not my responsibility, but I can't pretend they don't exist." Those words hit him with unexpected force. "I can't pretend they don't exist." For years, that was exactly what he had been doing, with his own emotions, with the emptiness in his life, with the world beyond his carefully controlled routine. He had everything money could buy, yet he had chosen to live as if nothing truly mattered anymore. His vision blurred slightly. He blinked, but the tears came anyway. He turned his face away, embarrassed, but unable to stop them. The maid looked up in surprise, clearly not expecting this reaction. "I have so much," he said quietly, more to himself than to her. "And yet I've been living like I have nothing." The room remained silent, the weight of his words settling into the space between them. He wiped his face with his hand, taking a deep breath as he tried to steady himself. For the first time in years, he felt exposed, not as a businessman, not as a man of status, but simply as a human being confronted with truth. He looked at her again, but this time there was no distance in his gaze. "You thought you would punish you for this?" He asked softly. She didn't respond, but her eyes gave her answer. He shook his head slowly, a faint, emotional smile forming through his tears. No, he said. What you've done, it's something you should have done a long time ago. The children were still watching, their expressions slowly shifting from fear to curiosity. One of them took a small step forward. Then another. The tension in the room began to soften, replaced by something warmer, something unfamiliar yet deeply needed. In that small, fragile house, surrounded by children who had so little, the widowed Buzzy Nesman felt a part of himself come back to life. The secret he had discovered didn't break him, it awakened him. And as he stood there, no longer hiding from what he felt, he realized that this moment, this unexpected truth, had changed him in a way nothing else ever could.